Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's BB23 updates and spoilers. I hope you're ready for the absolute clownery that is about to be spilled out of this teacup. Oh my god. Before we get going, I just want to thank all of yesterday's patrons. You guys are amazing. Jefferson Tucker, Donald Greenwell, NM1000, Books and Quirks, Anita Starr, Indie Girl, Gelsey Kane, Yasser Bakir, Busy Blue, and Donald Greenwell. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. And I see we already have some super chats coming in today. Carolyn Harmon, thank you so much. And Donnie Greenwell, thank you again so much. You guys are awesome. There's so much to talk about today. There has been a meltdown in the Big Brother house. It's wild. So anyway, our house guests of the day are Van Scott and Dominic Capello. Thank you all. I'm doing the wrong thing. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. You guys are awesome, and we really couldn't do it without you. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. All right. So I just want to say, too, before we get started, I think it's worth going back and watching yesterday's spoiler if you haven't already seen it, because there is a lot of important information in there. I really hope that lawnmower is not too loud. But when we left off yesterday, Frenchie, the HOH, was trying to set up his mega alliance, which he was calling the Slaughterhouse. So he wants a core of 4 within that group, which he wants to call the Butchers. Okay, the problem here, he's been telling everyone and their cat about it. Everybody has different ideas about who should be in this core. See, if you're going to do a core within a bigger alliance, you can't tell everybody about it. It's not going to work. But there are so many people tied to both of these alliances now. And just to list off some of the associated acts involved with the Slaughterhouse and or the Butchers, of course, Frenchie, Whitney, Xavier, Kyland, Brittany, Tiffany, Azza, Derek F. And we're not done yet. He's still going to add on more. So it's freaking insane. In other news, Frenchie wants to pull off a big backdoor move this week. He wants to take out one of the jocks, and he is telling lots of people that he wanted to take out Brent. But then he went and talked to Brent, and he realized, I judged this guy too quickly. I don't want to go after him anymore. I think he's a cool guy. We have some stuff in common. So he's wanting to keep Brent around and even potentially work with him moving forward. So Brent skillfully moved the target off of himself and onto Christian. And Frenchie seemed into it. He was like, yeah, Christian is my new target. You know, Christian is talking crap about people. He's a threat. He's trying to get close to the ladies, potentially start a showmance. So he's got to go. All right. So then when we left off yesterday, the feeds were down for, it wasn't exactly the wild card competition yet. I think they were telling the house guests about it and introducing it to them and picking the players. So just a reminder, for the wild card competition, one person from each team is going to play, except for the team that won HOH that week. So nobody from Frenchie's team is playing in this. But the winner of this competition can be safe for the week. But as a result, there will be some sort of punishment either for that person, their team, or even for the whole house. So I don't know yet what that punishment is going to be this week. But the wild card players this time around, we've got Christian, Kyland, and Hannah. So, before the competition, Brent and Whitney were chatting in the bathroom area. And Whitney is saying, oh, Christian approached me about potentially starting an alliance, but I felt uncomfortable about it. Like, I didn't say yes or no. So I hope that that's not going to put a target on my back now because, you know, I said no to him, or I said I don't know to him. But Brent is like, no, Christian is no good. Don't worry about it. He's putting targets on people's backs. We can't have him around. So I just want to say, I feel like there's kind of like a showmance brewing between Brent and Whitney. It was very flirty. Whitney's all, oh, feel my heart, feel my pulse right now. My heart's beating so fast. And he's you have like really nice eyes. So definitely something going on between those two. But anyway, they suspect that Travis and Christian have a bromance alliance. What makes you think that? But Brent says he wants nothing to do with all that because of Christian. He says that Travis is all right. He's a stand-up guy. But Christian, he wants no part of that. And Brent says it's not going to be good for us if Christian wins this competition. He needs to go this week. In conclusion with this conversation, they both agree they love Frenchie. Let's see if you still feel that way in a little while. Okay, so then the feeds went down a few hours for the competition. And guess what? Christian won. So he is safe for the week. And he also got to choose another person to give safety to. So he chose Xavier. So yes, Xavier and Christian are now safe for the week in addition to Frenchie's team. Okay, so then after that, the house guests got the backyard for the first time this season. They've got a new balcony area. I guess that's where Dr. Will was hanging out last season for the Big Brother Neighbor segment thingy. So that's fun. It's a nice new space. I think they had like a foosball table up there. They had another chess set up there, and they got some tables and chairs. So it's a nice little perch in the backyard, another location for hanging out and for scheming. I like it. So Azah and Frenchie had a game chat on the hammock, and Azah's like, well, we already have our core four. You know, we got the Joker's team. But she's asking Frenchie, are you thinking of like setting up another type of alliance, like another group? Oh, yeah. And Frenchie's like, yeah. We're all going to meet in the same room together, and you're going to be able to see like who's with us and who's against us. With all the people he's been talking to, is this going to be a freaking house meeting with everyone? I mean, really. But Frenchie says there's someone who's been causing drama, and it's Little Derek, a.k.a. Derek X. This whole big D, little D thing, let's try and rock with it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But Frenchie says, I was told that Lil D is starting rumors and throwing out people's names, and he thinks he's slick, and he's not. So it sounds like Lil D is the new target now that he's not going after Brent. He can't go after Christian. So he's going to go with Lil D, who is pretty tight with the other guys. So then Christian and Frenchie have a one-on-one chat in the backyard, and Christian's asking, like, how do you feel about Travis? And Frenchie says, we had a good talk earlier. You know, we're all right. And Christian's like, well, Travis and Lil D are boys. So watch what you say to Travis about Lil D. So it seems like Christian, who was going to be the target, is now in the know that Lil D is the new target. And he is trying to distance himself from Travis and Lil D. So Frenchie says, all right, well, next step, I got to find two pawns, and we got to keep Lil D feeling super safe this week. They don't need him like freaking out and winning a veto and saving himself. But Frenchie is not being very tight-lipped about his changing targets. I mean, it's bad enough when your target, like everybody finds out about it, but when everybody knows that you've had like multiple different targets and it keeps changing, ooh, you are leaving quite a paper trail there. That's bad. So after that conversation, Frenchie tells Big D, Derek F, and Tiffany, ooh, we are about to make a big splash this week. He keeps talking about a big splash. I feel like this is a freaking belly flop. I mean, it's a splash, all right, but it is a belly flop so far. So a little later, Big D and Azah have a game chat in the kitchen, and Derek says a man has to go this week. And he would like to keep Lil D around and see what he can do, but he's smart, and that's dangerous. So as much as he wants to keep him around, they're probably going to have to get rid of him. Azza agrees. She says, yeah, Lil D, Travis, Christian, they're all smart. Somebody's got to go, right? So Big D is saying he would like to see Travis on the block next to Lil D. Oh, bros. So they want to keep Brent around for a little bit. They like that Frenchie is not targeting him anymore. They feel like they can work with him long term. Christian is more of like a short term thing. So Derek is saying he's looking ahead to next week. He's saying, all right, if we get rid of a guy this week, we need to get rid of a woman next week. So he's saying we should get rid of Whitney next week because she's powerful. She's going to be a strong player. Look how she did in the first competitions. So Azza says, I don't know. I'd kind of like to keep her around and see what she can do. You know, she could be an asset for us. So Derek's getting a little bit of pushback on that. So then Tiffany joins them, but she agrees Whitney is the strongest female competitor. Is she? I don't know about that. I mean, she did okay in the competitions, but it's the first week. Also, what happened to the Parents Alliance? I thought Tiffany and Whitney were supposed to be tight. I don't know. But anyway, there was a booze delivery last night. Big Brother gave them 2 bottles of champagne. And I gotta say, like, they were not super hyped up about it like you usually see on the feeds. I think it's just because we're getting these week 1 feeds. And these house guests are not far enough into the season yet to make them like scream with excitement about a booze delivery. So they make a toast to kick off the season. Like, here's to great summer, amazing people, blah, 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 blah. Okay, moving on. There's just so much to get to. So Sarah Beth and Kyland had a game chat on the hammock. And Sarah Beth is like, I think we work really well together. You know, I wanted to come in here and start working with one person like really, really closely. And she says, like, I feel like you could be that person. And Kyland is like, yeah, you're one of my favorite people. I'm in. Let's do this. So then now that they're, you know, working together closely, Sarah Beth starts dropping some knowledge. She's saying, Frenchie told me that he's not sending home any girls this week. So that's really going to narrow down his options of who he can nominate. So you better be careful because you're still in that pool of potential nominees. So she's letting him know, Frenchie told me and Alyssa that we're both safe. And yeah, Kylan's kind of like, uh-oh, am I going to be in trouble this week? You know, it's him, Travis, Brent, and Lil D that are like possible nominees this week. But Sarah Beth is like, I think Frenchie is scared of Derek X. Yeah, right? I mean, I think Frenchie is scared of his target just staying in general. That's why he's like so keen on pulling off a backdoor move. I think part of it is he wants to make like some iconic move that the fans are going to talk about forever. But I think a lot of it is also too, he's just freaking scared shitless of his target staying and coming after him. So yeah, they agree that they're going to keep each other informed. Moving on. Derek F. and Christian have a game chat on the Sky Bridge. And Christian says, I know my name is being thrown out there. I've been hearing it. And he also knows that Derek X is the target this week. This information is just getting out to everybody. So they talk about working together with Frenchie and Xavier. Oh my God. Christian's gonna work with them now? What? So they gotta act like they're not cool with each other to try and like throw people off. So again, Big D looking forward to next week. He brings up that he wants Whitney to go next week. He's saying a girl's gotta go. And Christian's like, but we're cool with Whitney, aren't we? Like, why would we get rid of her? And I just feel like Big D is being really sloppy here. Already talking about week 2 targets when week 1 has not even been wrapped up yet. Like at this point, they haven't even had nominations yet. And he's already throwing out names for week 2. I think that's really messy. And he's getting a lot of pushback about it. Not many people are like, yes, absolutely. Let's take out Whitney next. So that's really dangerous. But Christian's like, no, we should keep Whitney around because he feels like she's the type of player that will kind of like ruin her own game and, just let her own game unravel. But Christian suggests targeting Claire instead because he thinks she's going to be a powerhouse. So then they also discuss bringing a girl into their guys alliance. They're thinking maybe Brittany, she's ride or die. But they got to see what happens this week. They want to see how it's going to play out. Great, a guys alliance. A lot of fun. All right, next up. Things are really starting to go off the rails here. This was really like the huge turning point of the evening, I think. Frenchie